Hi there, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Miguel Martinez Juarez, and today I'm going to talk about the Edinburgh Lectures on Mental Science by Thomas Troward, Chapter 8, Reciprocal Action of the Universal and Individual Minds. Reciprocal Action of the Universal and Individual Minds. And let's get right into it. A little bit about the universal and individual minds. We're talking about subconscious minds. The universal mind is reciprocal because it'll respond to what you say. It'll reciprocate to what you put out. You get back what you put out. That's why that's a universal law. Cause and effect. You get what you put out. Law of karma. Okay, they call it that as well. No, not. I don't want you to think just because you say something, it's gonna happen like right away. That you can stop it. The only way you can stop something from coming is by changing what you're thinking and what you're doing. So I just wanted to put marshmallow in the video. I don't know why it looks kind of sideways. Okay, so a little explanation on that, and I want to give you the main message of this chapter, because it's very confusing. I had to read this chapter like 3 times before I was confident enough to create the video again. And I say again because I've made other videos on the Edinburgh lectures. I got a request to redo them, and I'm so grateful for the person who requested it. If you're watching right now, comment below. I appreciate you. And here's the message. Quote, and I'm quoting myself, so just hear me out. We are watching the law of growth and the operation of the receptive universal mind, which is a subconscious mind, bring to us our thought form / spiritual prototype. So whatever we're holding in our mind, I say spiritual prototype because Thomas Troward blends science and spirit and like faith, okay? Because he uses a lot of the New Testament, the Old Testament verses. So all this does go into like spirituality, but just because it's spirituality and he references books does not mean it's not science. Okay, we have to use concepts and understandings of the mind and call them laws because we've seen them over and over and over again. We just can't fancy just some type of ambiguous type of person or deity that we have no understanding. We have an understanding of this. We have an understanding of this. So let us not forget that. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna repeat the main purpose of the chapter. We are watching the law of growth and the operation of the receptive universal mind bring us our thought form or spiritual prototype. We're watching it, okay? Remember, the purpose of these lectures, because these are lectures, each chapter is a lecture, is for us to use the mind to create the things that we desire, okay? To manifest the things that we desire. Be it something for health, wealth, love, happiness, okay, or moral fortitude. I like the way he pronounces this. He says that here. But let's get right into it. I'm gonna share a few quotes, and I know that you're here because you want to learn more. But if that sentence, I'm gonna read it again. We are watching the law of growth and the operation of the receptive universal mind bring to us our thought form / spiritual prototype. Again, we are creating through thought. So when something is being manifested or turned into a physical condition, because it's a thought, it's already a thing in our mind. It's already real. It's real in the inner reality. We're waiting for it to become a physical outer reality We're waiting for it to become a condition, a physical condition. And when we're waiting, we are not bringing it into fruition, into condition. We are watching the law of growth and watching the operations of the mind, the laws of mind, subconscious mind, specifically, unfold that thought form into circumstance. So when we already have it, we believe that we have it, all we're doing is watching the operation of the universal mind and then the law of growth do its thing, okay? And we'll know because we're like, okay, that's kind of like a sign. We'll know. It's just super fucking obvious. For example, when I said I'm gonna have an amazing sex life, as soon as I visualized that, I got a DM from somebody saying, "Hey man, you're trying to get better at, like, I'm dating women." I was like, "Yeah, like that's it." And that's how I met my coach, my dating coach. He's not a dating coach anymore. Now he's into this stuff, law of attraction, things like that. So let's start with the first quote, and then these quotes, and then we'll get into the next ones. These quotes are going to help you understand what's going on. Okay, what's going on by what Thomas Troward says, reciprocal action of the universal and individual minds, and my sentence that I concised, okay, this chapter in. Okay, quote. The intelligence not only enables it to receive the impress of our thought, but also causes it to devise exactly the right means of bringing it into accomplishment. Okay? Because it is intelligent, all right? It is a mind. It has to accept our intelligence, our conscious thought. Okay, let's continue. Quote, this is only the logical result of the hypothesis that we are dealing with infinite intelligence, which is also infinite life. Life means power, and infinite life therefore means limitless power. And limitless power, moved by limitless intelligence, cannot be conceived of as ever stopping short of accomplishment of its object. Therefore, given the intention on the part of the universal mind, there can be no doubt as to its ultimate accomplishment. Then comes the question of intention. How do we know what the intention of the universal mind may be? Here comes in the element of impersonality. So if we know, given the intention of the universal mind, then we know its direction. Okay, we know its direction and we know it can't be stopped. But what is it? What's its intention? Now let's go to the next one, the next quote. If you missed that, just comment below like, hey, I missed the understanding of the first quote. Can you repeat it in like your words? And I will, okay? So let's talk about the intention of the universal mind. And its intention is evolution, more of whatever it is. Love, wealth, health, happiness, morals, morality, character, more. So let's read Thomas Troward's quote. Okay, so you can understand in a different way. It has no intention. Okay, so the universal mind has no intention. Okay, it has no intention because it is impersonal. It is not an individual. It is universal. Okay, so again, I'm gonna start from the beginning. It has no intention because it is impersonal. As I have already said, the universal mind works by the law of averages for the advancement of the race. and is in no way concerned with the particular wishes of the individual. End quote. So the race is the human race. If his wishes are in line with the forward movement of the everlasting principle, there is nowhere in nature any power to restrict him in their fulfillment. End quote. All right. So if you're in line with the advancement of the human race, which is more of anything, love, wealth, health, happiness, you're in the line with the universal mind. Okay. And because it is unlimited power, it can never be stopped. Whatever it is that you desire, that's for more health, more love, more wealth, more happiness, more character, more impact on the world in a positive way, more impact in the world in a positive way, like what I'm doing. Okay. More specifically, giving back, because that's in line with the universe. Exactly what Thomas Trower is talking about right here in this sentence. You will get whatever it is that you desire. Quote, let's continue. If they are opposed to the general forward movement, then they will bring him into collision with it, and they will crush him. You'll get crushed by the universe. Okay. So what's the opposite of being for people? Hating people. You know, racism. I can give an example. Whatever it is that is going against the development, the growth, the prosperity, the happiness, and the love for others, okay, will get you destroyed. Okay, that's where sickness comes. Dis-ease, because you're not at ease if you're hating people, being jealous of people. Okay, and I have to be honest, we're all going through this process of love, of loving others, not being hateful, and sending people love. Okay, a great book and audiobook also is by Leela. She's the owner of Nevolution, the YouTube channel Nevolution. She reads the book called The Game of Life by Florence Scovel Shinn, and she helps us. There's two great affirmations. One is every man is a golden link to the chain of my good. So if somebody you don't like, somebody you're scared of or whatever, any negative emotion that you have against somebody, you can say that and it'll release that. Okay? Every man is a golden link to the chain of my good. And second, she recommends bless that man, bless that woman. Just bless them, send them best wishes, bless them. I started doing that to just like strange people, you know what I mean? Like strange people, like for example, if you walk up to somebody, or you don't walk up to somebody, but you're passing by somebody and you say, hey, good morning, you're in a positive vibe, and they just look at you, give you a weird look, negative vibe. I had a weird understanding to that, where I'd be like, oh, I will respond like in negatively. So I was actually seeking validation from them. I wanted something. I wasn't actually giving. So now I just give. No matter who the person is, I just say, I wish them health, wealth, love, and happiness. Somebody cuts me off, I wish them health, wealth, love, and happiness. My dad calls me to talk shit, I wish him health, wealth, love, and happiness. I don't know why he does that sometimes. But I don't accept it, That's what I told him on the phone, hey man, like, what do you want? Okay. In a serious tone, like, what do you want? I wasn't playing around. I'm like, what do you want? And then like we ended the conversation. He's like, I got a new tattoo, so he called to talk shit about it. But whatever. After that, I was like, I wish my dad health, wealth, love, and happiness. I wish him health, wealth, love, and happiness. And then earlier, there's somebody who was very nice, so nice. She was so nice to me. I don't know how it was, but I wished her health, wealth, love, and happiness, and I felt so amazing, so amazing. That was the first time I ever felt so amazing by saying that affirmation. See, affirmation begin working after you repeat them over and over and over again. Repetition creates belief. Remember that. So some people say, oh man, manifesting doesn't work. I wrote that once. It never happened. For how long I was writing, I am so grateful I own and drive a beautiful black wide body Dodge Challenger. For 2 years, I was writing it. And then but I would always visualize it. I would write it, visualize it. So I was doing affirmations and visualization until it manifested. I received $25,000 check, and I knew it was for my Challenger. I knew that's what I wanted. That's why, boom, the money came, boom, it went out, got the Challenger, and more money just kept on coming. Okay, because I kept for the most part of that $25,000. But I digress. Not meaning that I kept it, like hoarded it. I spent a little bit of that to get the Challenger. Okay. So the stuff works, okay? It only works if you work. Remember, I said earlier, the only way to stop something from manifesting is if you stop thinking of it. That goes for good and bad. Good and bad things. That's why, as you're starting, I recommend you do 3 times a day gratitude and visualization. Mandatory. 3 times a day. Okay, even if you don't feel shit right now, you eventually will. Okay, and work out every single day. Never miss a day of working out. Go out, walk, move. Your frequency rises. Okay, and feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Ask yourself, how would I feel if I had this already? You feel it and then visualize, affirm it. All these things. It's all impressing your subconscious mind. All right, and let's continue. Quote, from the relation between them, it results that the same principle which shows itself in the individual mind as will becomes in the universal mind a law of tendency. And the direction of this tendency must always be to life-givingness. What did I just say? Okay. You must be for more love, wealth, health, and happiness for other people. Okay? Other people. And for yourself. 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 Make that clear, okay? It's okay to have more. You deserve it. You're worthy of it. Ever since you were born, you had these laws operating within you. It is you. So you deserve even more. And you are worthy of more. And it is your right to have more. It is your right to have more. Because, going back to the quote, because the universal mind is the undifferentiated life spirit of the universe. Because the universal mind is the undifferentiated life spirit of the universe. So the mind, the universal mind, is the life spirit, okay, of the entire universe. Even you, it's in you too. Can't be divided, can't be destroyed. Then it won't be mind, it won't be intelligent. Intelligent, you can't grab, oh, intelligence, I have it in this cup. No, it's not physical, it's spirit, it's life. They're very synonymous. Non-physical, spirit, life, power, intelligence, okay, mind, will. But the universal mind works through tendency, all right, tendency through law. Therefore, in every case, the test is whether our particular intention is in the same lifeward direction. And if it is, then we may be absolutely certain that there is no intention on the part of the universal mind to thwart the intention of our own individual mind. We are dealing with a purely impersonal force, and it will no more oppose us by specific plans of its own than it will steam or electricity. Combining then these two aspects of the universal mind, its utter impersonality and its perfect intelligence, we find precisely the sort of natural force we are in want of, something which will undertake whatever we put into its hand without asking questions or bargaining for terms. and which, having undertaken our business, will bring to bear on it an intelligence to which the united knowledge of the whole human race is as nothing, and a power equal to this intelligence. I'm gonna stop right there real quick. When we access the universal mind, we access unimaginable intelligence and unimaginable power. I may be using, quote, going back to it, I may be using a rough and ready mode of expression, but my object is to bring home to the student the nature of the power he can employ and the method of employing it. And I may therefore state the whole position thus. Your object is not to run the whole cosmos, but to draw particular benefits, physical, mental, moral, or financial, into your own or someone else's life. From this individual point of view, the universal creative power has no mind of its own, and therefore you can make up its mind for it. When its mind is thus made up for it, it never abrogates. It'll never fail. It'll never hinder. Its place as the creative power, but at once sets to work to carry out the purpose for which it has thus been concentrated. Concentrated, that's an amazing word. Okay, getting out of it. You focus on it, concentrate on it, quietly, relaxed. Neville Goddard says, get into a state akin to sleep. Say, I am relaxed, I am calm, I am very relaxed, I am very relaxed. This is what Neville Goddard says. And then in that relaxed state, in the state akin to sleep, visualize, focus, concentrate, and see yourself already with what you desire. Create a scene following the accomplishment of your desire. Not you wanting it, you already have it, and you're enjoying it. For example, the story of Abdullah and him, and how he learned the law, he had to visualize himself already in Barbados. He was already there. It is done. So every time he said to Abdullah, hey man, why haven't I got the tickets? You went to Barbados and you went first class. It already happened. Okay? You are in Barbados and you went first class. You are in Barbados and you went first class. Okay? You tell him, sleep tonight in your father's home. You are there. So every time he would say, hey, well, where is it? Hey, I didn't get what I wanted. Because he got a ticket, but he's like, hey, I didn't get a first class ticket, you know? And he said, you went first class. Stop questioning that you didn't go or you're wanting to go. It already happened. It is done. Remember, pray. Whatever ye ask for in prayer, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you received. I already went. You already have it. And you will receive. You already got it. Okay? So he did two things. He visualized that he was already there. And Abdullah affirmed to him, you went first class. It already happened. So when he doubted, oh, I didn't get a first class ticket, I got a third class ticket, he said, you went first class. You went already first class. An affirmation. So just enter your desire. I already have enter your desire. And see yourself already using the thing that you want in your imagination. These both affirmation of consciousness, you're in that state of consciousness. Okay, you must have the state of consciousness of being wealthy before it manifests. You must have the state of consciousness of being with fit baddies before it manifests. You must have the state of consciousness of being married if you want to get married before you're married. Okay, you must have the state of consciousness of being healthy before you have health. Perfect health. You must have the state of consciousness of winning that championship if you want to be a champion. So you don't say, oh, I'm trying to be the champion. You see yourself already with the fucking belt or trophy in your home. I'm the fucking champ. That's it. It's done. Believe that ye received, and you will receive. Okay. Let's continue. Quote, from this individual point of view, the universal creative power has no mind of its own, and therefore you can make up its mind for it. When its mind is thus made up for it, it never abrogates its place as the creative power, but at once sets to work to carry out the purpose for which it has thus been concentrated. And unless this concentration is dissipated by the same agency, he put in parentheses, yourself, which first produced it, it will work by the law of growth to complete manifestation on the outward plane. It will work on by the law of growth to complete manifestation on the outward plane. It will work on by the law of growth to complete manifestation on the outward plane. It will work on by the law of growth to complete manifestation on the outward plane. It will work on by the law of growth to complete manifestation on the outward plane. It will work on by the law of growth to complete manifestation on the outward plane. It will work on by the law of growth to complete manifestation on the outward plane. Remember, this is the message that he's telling us. Okay. Whatever it is that you're putting in the universal mind, it will manifest through the law of growth. But you must be concentrated on it. You must assume the state of consciousness. Because when you visualize something that you already have, you're assuming the consciousness. You're not saying, I am grateful that I have, although you could do that. You're not saying, literally in your mind, you're not saying, I am grateful now that I have. You're just assuming it. You have it in the spiritual realm, in the non-physical realm. It's yours. Your subconscious understands it. The subconscious mind knows feeling, sensation. Without feeling, you don't get it. Without feeling, you don't get it. At least for me, when I do affirmations, I have to do a lot of affirmations for me to get the feeling. Like with the woman who I said, oh, wish your health, wealth, love, and happiness. And I felt so much joy. Like, oh my God, I wanted to cry. Because I finally felt it. But with visualization and using my imagination, closing my eyes and relaxing, like Neville Goddard says to do, which he calls prayer, I feel it. I feel it. I'm like, oh, man. I love doing it. Okay. And yeah, that's what you do. That's concentration. That's why it's good to, I also do my affirmations. I should repeat it. Just like in the Bart Simpson's intro, you see he's writing an affirmation. I will not do something, that's an affirmation. He's doing it over and over and over again. Okay. I think that's why they do that in schools, do it over again. So it goes into the subconscious mind. And then you'll feel it. You'll eventually get it. It'll get into the subconscious mind through repetition and feeling. Now let's get on to the next one. Here's another quote that I like. I didn't annotate, but I know it's very important because I made a note on it. Let's start from the beginning of the sentence. Okay, here it is. L. All right. Here it is. To question this is to sow that very seed of doubt, which it is our first object to eradicate. And our intellectual endeavors should therefore be directed not to the attempt to foretell the various secondary causes which will eventually combine to produce the desired result, laying down beforehand what particular causes should be necessary and from what quarter they should come from. But we should direct our intellectual endeavor to seeing more clearly The rationale of the general law by which trains of secondary causes are set in motion. Employed in the former way, our intellect becomes the greatest hindrance of our success, for it only helps to increase our doubts, since it is trying to grasp particulars which at the time are entirely outside its circle of vision. But employed in the latter, it affords the most material aid in maintaining that nucleus, without which there is no center from which the principle of growth can assert itself. But employed in the latter, it affords the most material aid in maintaining that nucleus, without which there is no center from which the principle of growth can assert itself. So a little bit about the previous chapters. We need a seed, a mental seed, which our form is, okay? It's a mental seed which allows the law of growth to operate. Just like when you put a seed in the dirt, you don't operate it. It does it automatically. The law of growth and the law of attraction begins to activate itself. You don't do it. The universe does that, okay? Yeah. So here I received another concept, which is not only do we allow the law of growth to bring in the circumstance, we use our intellect to do that, but we also use our intellect to concentrate on that thought seed. So you focus on just the affirmations and the visualization process. That's it. Okay? And I'm going to read the beginning part of this quote because I feel like it's important, and then I'll wrap it up. In dealing with the great impersonal intelligence, we are dealing with the infinite, and we must fully realize infinitude as that which touches all points. And if it does, there should be no difficulty in understanding that this intelligence can draw together the means requisite for its purpose, even from the ends of the world, and therefore realizing the law according to which the results can be produced. We must resolutely put aside all questioning as to the specific means which will be employed in any case. Yeah. We don't need to question where it's coming from what resources, okay? Because this is the unlimited power, unlimited intelligence, okay? Unlimited resources, and it can bring the resource from anywhere. Again, that inherent principle in the seed that you plant in the physical world, we don't activate it. The universe does it. Okay? The natural laws of the physical world activate it. Okay? I love how Bob Proctor used to say, yeah, we put the seed and it starts getting in a frequency. It starts vibrating and it starts attracting it. Because if you put a seed right here in the air, it's not gonna activate. But you put it in the dirt, there's minerals, now there's water, it starts vibrating. Brrr, starts attracting through the law of attraction, the law of growth. Starts growing. That's what we do with our mind. We have the thought in our mind. We're concentrated. Okay, one thought is just there, right? But you think about it over and over and over again. Starts vibrating, starts attracting everything, starts growing and manifesting. Okay, that's how it works. So I hope you like this one. It's 34 minutes, but it's very, very, very powerful. 34 minutes. Okay, make sure to smash the like button, smash the subscribe if you haven't subscribed, comment below if you have any questions, and if you want me to help you, click the Calendly link. Okay, we'll start working on the 3-step process. Know what you want, okay, see yourself with it, and then I'll help you with staying in a positive frequency throughout your coaching program, because that's all you got to do. You got to be what's the right word besides in a positive frequency? Non-resistant. Don't be resistant, because you're resisting your good when you're in a negative vibe. Stay in a positive vibe. All the good is supposed to come to you naturally, but we are put in here on earth to like kind of get out of that. It's kind of like wrestling out of those negative beliefs that the human race has thought of. But that's part of the journey, okay? And welcome to this new world, okay? The world from within, without. The kingdom of heaven is within, and if everybody tells you else, something else, they're wrong. I love you. Peace.